Hey guys, so today we've got some official patch notes, and this will actually be releasing later today. Talk about short notice. These were posted on the Southeast Asia Facebook page, and that makes sense because that's the region the PTS is held in, so it makes sense that that's where they would post the notes. Now, it's region locked, so I've been sent images by one of my mods who lives in that area, so thank you so much to Rowlet Boy, I appreciate you, and we're going to be able to go through these with you guys and let you know what's coming later today in this new patch. Now, the first one coming up is a big nerf we can see here to Mew. Now, Mew is getting its special attack decreased, which is pretty good to see. I think Mew for a while has been a little too dominant and it's just doing far too much. So getting a special attack like stat nerf will affect it across the board, and it should be quite healthy for the game because it's just doing far too much damage. Now, its passive synchronize has also been weakened, and this is a really big deal. So this is what's been frustrating to me about Mew from the beginning, is the fact that an attacker that wants to be at range has a passive that whenever it uses a move, it gets more speed to be at that range. It feels unpunishable. Now, they are reducing the amount of speed that you and your probably ally will get here, so that makes Mew a little more punishable and is a bit easier to take out. So you won't see Mew's getting away with the things that they do, especially with another change they show here, that agility is actually had its cooldown reduced as well. So Mew's not going to be dashing around as much. This is really cool for everyone who's not a Mew player. For Mew, sorry, you're still going to be strong. The boosted attack has been nerfed as well, by the way, which is probably the biggest change. Mew's booster does way too much damage, but last time they nerfed this, they only did it by a tiny bit. I'm sure they've only kind of tapped it again, but all these changes across the board are going to make quite a difference, and Mew may seem a little bit less overbearing now and just strong, which is really good, and that's where Pokemon wants to be. Next up, we have Dodrio. Now, I don't know if people really know this, because I know a lot of people don't play this Pokemon, but Dodrio is probably the strongest Pokemon in the game right now. It's actually dominating every single meta. Every kind of tournament that's come up, every high elo game has a Dodrio in it, and the Pokemon has been just far too much to deal with, and a big reason for that is Tri-Attack. Now, Tri-Attack is actually getting its damage dealt to opposing Pokemon decreased, which is a really big deal. It's also getting its HP restoration decreased on just the regular move and the upgraded move, so that's good. Seeing these two get hit is very good for the game. Dodrio's unhealthy right now. It's really not good that it's that strong. Mew has been unhealthy for a while, so seeing these two get hit is really good, and I'm happy to see changes that seem like they are they're listening or paying attention. Speaking of paying attention, Mr. Mime is getting nerfed as well. Now, these are kind of the big three. Any tournament you've seen right now has had a Mew, it has had Mime, and has had Dodrio on the teams, and they have just been so dominant that it's kind of boring to watch. It's crazy to see such a stale meta, and Mime getting hit for like the fifth time may actually bring this Pokemon back to where it used to be when it was kind of a niche pick. Mime was always good, but it was good in skillful hands. It wasn't this pick up and just one-shot everyone kind of Pokemon, especially since it's a support and it's not really supposed to do that. So Mime's getting its damage dealt to opposing Pokemon on Confusion decreased, and that's also carrying over to Confusion Plus. It's getting decreased even more on that end as well. This is really good, so they're hitting Mime just where the damage is. I personally think Power Swap might be the problem on Mime, because that's the move they changed that really made Mime very strong. But bringing this back will get rid of some of that burst. It will make Mime less punishing and frustrating to play against. Because right now Mime just literally one-shots anything, and it's a bit too much. So this is a good change. They're hitting the big three that are dominating, and this to me shows us they're listening and they're paying attention, and I'm happy to see that. So to me, honestly, these are three really good changes. Zoroark. Now, this one we saw coming. Anyone who spent $900 for Zoroark or whatever, anyone who bought Zoroark, the Pokemon has been crazy since it's come out. It's been ridiculous. If you put your controller on the ground and you stood on your joysticks and you started just like dancing back and forth, you would get a kill at level 5 with this Pokemon when you came to lane, because it's so absurd with Night Slash. The cooldown has been lengthened. The damage is the same, but the cooldown has been lengthened. I'm hoping they fix the bug. Okay, fixed bug. Yeah, fixed bug causing extra effects to occur. Now, there was a double damage bug with Night Slash where you were getting twice the damage with some of your hits. Now, that's probably why it looks so oppressive with the damage it did. This may bring it a little more in line and make it just feel more like an Absol and less like a Zoroark that it was. They've also lengthened the cooldown at the Plus version, which is pretty cool to see. So that they're hitting it where it needs to be hit. They fixed the bug at Night Slash Plus, which is actually pretty funny. There was this really funny bug that was actually, if you upgraded Night Slash while you were using the move, it would stop you from being able to use Night Slash for the rest of the game. I don't know how that got into the game, but I'm glad to see that being fixed. They're buffing Feint Attack, which I like to see. I like when they don't just gut them on, they actually buff the set that no one's really using. Feint Attack did win a Japanese tournament, to be fair, but it wasn't doing as well across the board, especially in solo queue games, so some love for Feint Attack getting a bit of a damage increase. Cool to see that. That's really cool to see. Gardevoir getting some love. Now, I know a lot of you will be happy about this. I know people are massive Gardevoir fans. It's had special attack increase just across the board. Very good when they do that kind of a buff, because Gardevoir already has a very high special attack. Confusion is getting a damage increase. Now, this is really big because Ralts is very, very not good. It's very bad, and Confusion is a big reason for that. It doesn't do any damage. If this change with the special attack and Confusion is big enough, then Ralts may actually be able to play the video game, and then Gardevoir will become viable. A big reason Gardevoir is not played is not because Gardevoir is bad, it is because Ralts is very hard to get to Gardevoir. So this could be really, really cool. They've also increased the damage of Psychic, which is kind of spicy because Psychic already did a lot of damage. And they have reduced the cooldown of the Unite, which is so Fairy Singularity is Gardevoir's Unite move, the giant black hole. So that charge rate increased. That's very good. It's going to be a lot more Unites for Gardevoir, and that's the most impactful part of your kit. So Gardevoir meta, maybe, maybe not. It really depends on Ralts, because Gardevoir is decent, but it's just not amazing when it's a Ralts. Sylveon getting some buffs. Now, these buffs are going to be decently impactful, I think. We're not going to go back to day one Sylveon, hopefully here with Mystical Fire. Anyone who doesn't remember, Mystical Fire was so strong they had to hotfix it day one of Sylveon. It was just too game-breaking. So they have made Mystical Fire a little stronger. They've dealt the damage dealt to a Pokemon has increased, which is good to see. Draining Kiss has had its cooldown reduced, which is good. No one picks Draining Kiss. Calm Mind is crazy broken. But having the cooldown reduced, and showing here, having the HP restoration increased is very, very good. If this Mon has more healing and it's up more, you may be more inclined to pick this move. And that's affected at the Plus version here as well. So a lot more healing for Sylveon, maybe making this the set to play. You can kite around with Mystical Fire, and you can heal up a bit more with Draining Kiss. This is a good change for Sylveon, probably pretty healthy, and I'm kind of excited to see it. Next up we have Clefable. Now, Clefable is a Pokemon that's been in kind of a weird spot for a while here. It performs really well, but you have to play weirdly with it because it had backline stats, but it played a frontliney role because it's a melee support. It doesn't want to sit in the back, but it was too squishy to sit in the front. So they've increased the defense and special defense of Clefable, which is really, really cool to see. Magic Guard, the shield has been strengthened on the passive. And then on Draining Kiss, you're getting more damage. I hope this isn't back to the beta's damage on Draining Kiss. We don't need another Mime to me, but this should be a lot more in line because it just wasn't doing enough. Follow Me's had the shield effect strengthened even more, so maybe this move is worth picking now over Gravity, even though Gravity is so strong. The Unite move has had some change. Hydro Pump deals more damage now, and the duration of the effects of Hydro Pump have increased. So that's like a longer stun on Hydro Pump. That could be really, really useful, and Block has had the effects on the user strengthened. This could be movement speed, this could be the duration of the block, probably the movement speed, and that's pretty scary. Blastoise getting some love, which is great because Blastoise hasn't seen play in so long. Blastoise's boosted attack is getting more damage dealt to opposing Pokemon. Now that's pretty good because if that translates through all parts of the game, that's going to help you farm. And that's where Blastoise struggles. Water Gun was buffed a little while ago, and little buffs over time can really bring a character back. Blastoise has never really been played unless it's been a jungler, because it's always been kind of a damage-dealing tank. Or a top laner, I guess. But this could bring it in line as a tank, especially with the next change. Hydro Pump, the duration of the effects have been increased. So Hydro Pump is going to be stunning longer, and Surf will have its cooldown reduced. So Blastoise's crowd control and damage are going up, which should make the Pokemon just better in general, and I'm kind of excited to see it. I wouldn't mind a Blastoise meta, it's been quite a while. Slowbro, the following stats have been increased: defense and special defense. Did anyone look at Slowbro and think, hey, this isn't tanky enough? Is that where Slowbro was lacking? I guess their goal here is Slowbro isn't performing that well on the new map because it's too slow to get around and it's kind of falling behind and getting poked. So let's make it unkillable, I suppose is the angle. But yeah, Slowbro is going to never get KO'd, which is kind of cool because it's already like the tankiest one in the games. This is pretty cool to see. Telekinesis is getting its cooldown reduced. that is needed because telekinesis, if anyone doesn't know, it's Slowbro's move where he grabs somebody and holds them still. It's too interruptible. You can interrupt this with any kind of like micro stun, so it getting cancelled, being on a long cooldown is too punishable, and yeah, it needed to have a reduced cooldown. This is a good change for Slowbro. I'm kind of excited to see this. Slowbro and Blastoise meta, let's do it. Water types, I'm here for it. Aegis / boosted attack. What? Okay. Aegis / boosted attack, the following have been adjusted. Damage. Aegis / Unite move. The following being adjusted. Damage. In which direction, Timmy? Which way? Is this up or down? Does anyone know? Did Aegis / get buffed or nerfed? Aegis / has had something done to it. It's either buffed or nerfed. We don't know. We have to figure that one out. Okay, Duraludon, Dragon Pulse. The following has been adjusted for this move. Damage. Look, we'll assume this is a buff, because why are they going to nerf Duraludon? They're not. So Duraludon's probably been buffed. Damage, cool. Alright. Theos Gyro and Citrus Berries. The areas of appearance have been changed. I guess they just moved them. And Baltoy. I guess they've moved the Baltoy as well. That could be interesting, depending on where. Okay. That's pretty interesting. So there's little map changes. Rayquaza. Oh no. The effects when defeated strengthen. So they're actually doing what we didn't want them to do. So in the PTS right now, Rayquaza is unbearably strong. It feels stronger than Zapdos ever did. So hopefully this is somewhere in the middle. They're just saying strengthen. They didn't say by the amount that we showed you in the PTS. Hopefully they found a middle ground and it's a bit healthier, because right now in the PTS, you're getting like way more shield. You're getting like 60% damage increase and you're scoring like twice as fast as you were before. Hopefully that's not the case, because it'll be a little too strong. Overall, this is a pretty decent patch, except for the Rayquaza thing. There were some good things, some bad things. Let me know in the comments what you're looking forward to in this patch. It's only coming out, it's a few hours that it comes out. Let me know what you're looking forward to play. Let me know your favorite change. Let me know what kind of scares you a little bit. Rayquaza is what scares you. But as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a wonderful day.